We're ready for some rugby league this afternoon. That man will be a big part of what the Gold Coast Titans offer against the Dolphins. 3 try assists, 10 offloads so far in 2023, and at his best, perhaps no more exciting forward in the competition blocker than David Fifita.
Yeah, what a tackle buster he is when he gets the ball. Look, I think he's got to get himself involved in the game early. The sort of bloke that can let 20 minutes go by and just hang around there waiting for something to happen. I think Foran has been great for him this season. He's back here this afternoon. I reckon he'll give him plenty of early ball and he'll be up for the contest against this man Kaufusi.
He's had a month out of rugby league, so who knows what sort of mood he's in coming here today, but he'll be fired up, as we saw in the very first game of the competition, where he announced almost single-handedly that the Dolphins were here and they weren't going to make up the numbers in 2023.
Yeah, it's been a perfect pick-up there for Wayne Bennett. He knew exactly the type of player that he wanted to come to start this new club in the Dolphins. He's been outstanding for them. Expect nothing different this afternoon.
Stay behind here.
Kenny Bromwich watching alongside the coach. He's out through a 1-game suspension. He'll be back next week. The Titans get first use of it. And it's Fodawaker who will bring it back here and is stopped by a wall of red jumpers at the Gold Coast 10-metre line from Randall. To the middle of the field, it comes to Tino for Su'a Mala'awi. Wrapped up again with numbers involved in the tackle. The Titans 3 wins, 3 losses coming here today. They've, with games already played this weekend in round 8, slipped to 10th on the ladder. Contact again, such a big impact. The very first play of the game. We'll see a lot of those throughout the 80 minutes here today as Kelly plays a 10 short of the halfway line. Isaac Liu now brings it back to the mid-stripe, and the Gold Coast will have one more. Comes back to Tana Boyd, who puts it in the air. Underneath it, Tabuai Fido. Nice catch. Brilliant sunny conditions here in Brisbane for this game. The surface has been a talking point over the last month or so, Steve. It'll be interesting to see how it fares today with the Magic Round just 2 weeks away.
Yeah, it looks in a lot better condition than we saw it a couple of weeks ago, so it'll be interesting to see. I think you've got to try and kick away from Tabuai Fido. Can't afford to kick it to him on the full. He's got wonderful pace off the mark.
Marshall King from dummy half finds Jesse Bromwich, who works it forward. Had that right arm free almost there over the shoulder of David Fifita, but he hangs onto it. Marshall King comes back to SASA. Conservative first set of 6, as you would expect from the Gold Coast Dolphins. Last here, and it will be Katoa who puts it high in the air. Khan Pereira underneath it. What an excitement machine he is. 7 tries in 6 games to open up his first year in the NRL, and no doubt he'll get some chances today to add to that tally. Corey Parker, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, afternoon, gentlemen. Down here on the sideline, the conditions are perfect, as you said, was. And what is a really, really emotional day on the calendar at the start of the year. It's always one of those games you just get the opportunity to show your respects to those who have served both before us and also during right now. And talking to Wayne Bennett before the game, I mean, he epitomises everything there is to know about the game of rugby league. But when it comes, is it
chance on this right-hand side, they're away. Fifita linking up there with Sami, playing on the right wing once again. He'll be hard to stop. What form he is in over the past couple of weeks on this right edge for the Titans. Chance now, Boyd coming back to Foran, takes it to the line, looking for an offload. Fodawaker there gets grabbed by Kaufusi, and also Marshall King, and a chance for the Titans and their anxious coach in Justin Holbrook. Corey, back to you to finish that thought.
Yeah, as I was saying, Wayne Bennett, it's a nice little run there from the Titans. Epitomise everything there is about rugby league, but having played under Wayne for a long period of time, he puts a huge amount of emphasis, particularly on this round. I think we heard, before the game in his interview, just what it really means. The respect and what this round means is certainly that something we just don't take for granted as players. I had a really, touching moment there before, whilst the last post was played, my 2 boys side by side. So it's an emotional time at this time. So it should be a terrific game here this afternoon, expansive football.
There is no question about that. It's already started from the Titans. And a real exclamation mark early on. Here is carry from Kaufusi, stopped there by Fifita. Count the times they come together here this afternoon and what it means to deciding the outcome of this game as Sami slips over there. Well, that northern end has been chopping up rather badly here at Suncorp during this current season. You see the grass and the turf coming up quite noticeably there as Sami digged in with the studs as Brimson brings it back. Jaden Campbell coming off the bench today. He's been more than serviceable in the fullback role for the Gold Coast, while Brimson has been out with a hamstring problem. Now Randall to Liu. Past Foran. Bounces up there for Fafita. Kelly standing, but as a result of the ball hitting the deck, he was easily wrapped up there by that Dolphins right edge. Last tackle for Boyd to put it in the air. The kick down here towards Tabuai Fido, trying to adjust to the sun. Makes a good catch there and brings it back. And well, his attack has been sublime, along with the finishing of Jermaine Asako on that right-hand side, who takes the carry here. 16 tries between them through the opening 7 rounds. The new kids on the block in the Dolphins.
It's been interesting to see the Titans start this game, spreading the ball, different styles. There's a forward pass from dummy half. And that's exactly what they'll be looking for straight away in the attacking zone now, the Titans. I think they got that one right.
A sneaky pass down low off the hip there from Marshall King. The touch judge in line with that said that one went forward. Jeremy agrees, but it has put his team under a bit of pressure here once again. The Gold Coast from just outside the 30. 5 minutes gone. No scorers yet. Game 1 of 2 this afternoon. Fox League's Sunday ticket. It's great to have your company.
Good to see AJ Brimson in the side too. Expect him to have a couple of touches in this set here.
Good hands here from Brimson away to Khan Pereira. He is absolute grease lightning. Real pressure this afternoon on Brinko Lee and also Jermaine Asako. Fafita takes it inside the 10. Tackles to play with here from close range. Randall waiting. He finds Vasua Mala'awi. Goes to SA. Marshall King still backing his way. Tino, boy, he's going to go close in the end. The hammer grabbed the leg and made Tino do the can-can. Randall. They came up quickly through Lemuelu from Foran. Fafita. Jojo, that is. Returning from a knee problem, playing at right centre with Sami outside him, who's been incredible in recent weeks for the Titans. Comes back to Foran here, a kick not played at. Still the 5th play here as they take it down through Sami. And now the signal from the referee of 6 more plays to come. A late call there. Confirmation is Fotuaika. Takes it down within a couple of metres. Dolphins defence, as you would expect from the Wayne Bennett coach team, has been impressive through their opening forays in this competition. Liu spinning, staying alive, almost giving lie to that statement. Randall coming out the back. Tanner Boyd is here. Stimson there on his right-hand side. Comes back to Randall, though. He tucks the head down and dip himself. Grabbed by Gilbert, most importantly. Still 3 plays remaining here. Vasua Mala'awi, how did they stop him? The ball came free. Good tackle made there.
I believe it's a loose carry. I just want to make sure that there's no strip from the Dolphins and then into a try. So we'll have a look at that, mate.
If there's any question about him getting anywhere near the line here. As down low was Lemuelu. In fact, over the top was Lemuelu with Kafusi down low. There you see the ball coming free. What did you make of how it came away from Big Tino?
It looked like he had a strip at the ball here on the way down.
Certainly 2 involved in the tackle. He does rip it out fairly graphically right there, you'd suggest.
Yeah,
We've got a stripping action from the Dolphins. Just looking to see how many players were in the tackle at the time.
Well, there's 2 in the tackle there, for sure. Still got his Kafusi's round the leg there.
Got him by the foot, got him by the foot as the ball
is stripped by the
through.
Dolphins. There are 2 players in the tackle. It's not in the act of scoring. We have a decision.
It's always a little bit of a disadvantage to get so much ball early and a couple of repeat sets when the opposition defence is nice and fresh. To pay tribute to the defence there from the Dolphins, put under pressure early in this game.
It's going to be a penalty here. Isn't that scoring action? It's well short of the line there, mate, so it's going to be a penalty here. It's going to be a penalty. It's strip 2-on-1, and then Tino knocks on after. Okay.
The Dolphins were hoping it was in the act of scoring, which would have meant that this wasn't a penalty to the Gold Coast Titans, and from beside the uprights, they'll take the option of putting themselves on the board for the first time today.
Yeah, like they were pretty confident there. There was a little bit of discussion about what they were going to do. There's a strip over the top, 2 men in the tackle, and all the ball early. The Titans, but they'll open the scoring and throw this one over right next to the upright.
We saw how good the Dolphins were defensively against the Rabbitohs in their last outing before Rabbitohs certainly got going in the second half of that one. Justin Holbrook and Wayne Bennett, these, as we said, Southeast Queensland derbies, or Queensland derbies in general, pretty much on a weekly basis now with the inclusion of the Dolphins to the Premiership. Have really added so much to the weekly. Certainly the crowd attendances have gone up off the back of that.
Yeah, great for the game. We've got games in that Brisbane, Queensland area every weekend now, so especially here at Suncorp.
And there's Boyd with the flags in the air. The Titans lead 2-0. Speaking of Suncorp Stadium, the world's largest rugby league festival, NRL Magic Round, is back in Brisbane right here from May 5 to 7. Almost not even quite 2 weeks' time. Footy fun festivities, it's all right here. Tickets are selling fast, so grab yours today at nrl.com/tickets. All 8 games in Magic Round right here. And the boys having a bit of fun for the Gold Coast. Why wouldn't they? They lead 2-0. A long way to go in this one. We've had just over 9 minutes of action. Titans on top as Funnel Waker on top here in this tackle, being carried backwards though by Bromwich and Gilbert. Suamala-Aui. Back beyond the 20. Fine afternoon, a hint of rain around. Both teams, especially the Titans, who've had most of the ball, throwing it around to good effect so far. Here's another example of it. Boyd will switch back on the inside. With such confidence in these dry conditions. Nice surface for the most part. This end of the field certainly isn't chopping up like the northern end has been, as they'll play it here at the halfway line through the skipper. Boyd puts it in the air. Kick will go down here to Jennings, who stands underneath it, makes a good catch. Second game here for the Dolphins this afternoon. Much travelled winger in his time, particularly with the Tigers and also the Rabbitohs. Marshall King for Osaka comes in field for a carry, and the Titans give away their first penalty of the game.
Might have been a little bit of a high shot just up around the neck region there. An easy get out of trouble set now for the Dolphins. Haven't really been down in the attacking zone so far. Well, to see them, we'll open the shoulders up a little bit now.
They'll begin from just on the halfway line. Brenko Lee. A big part of the reason why Jermaine Osako has scored the 8 tries that he has, his ability to catch and pass on those right edge shifts, been very important for the Gold Coast Dolphins. Here's Jesse Bromwich. As we saw, Brother Kenny watching on from in the coach's box today. He'll be back next week. Marshall King for Gilbert. The tie here comes across to Brenko Lee, but there's plenty of defence in front of him. Kelly's there, so is Foran. Work it back to the middle. Gilbert. Such is the pattern. Teams go wide, they come back to the middle. And they return to the same edge or swing it out to the left-hand side. Marshall King looking to this left edge. Katoa, a chance here for Nicarima to shift it on. There are alarm bells ringing there in the Titans' defensive line. Tino Fasuamala-Aui coming across, following the play, slipped over and had the ball gone back on the inside. There was a huge hole for the Dolphins.
Yeah, Nicarima with the wrong option there. I know it's only early in the game there. Could have went wide with the cutout pass or the second man pass, hit the front man. They had the overlap there. And that's an opportunity gone begging.
good stop in the end.
That was Jojo Fafita caught in field, so there was numbers on the outside there. Unlucky not to score.
Fodawaker will play it here as it comes across foreign for Fafita. Here's Kelly back on the inside shoulder there of Lee, and a ball for David Fafita. Equally good hands with Lofi Khan Pereira. The Dolphins scrambling well though. Last tackle here for Boyd to put it in the air. More pressure here on Tabuai Fido. No real chase there from the Gold Coast. Happy to hang back and just contain Tabuai Fido on his return as Asako follows suit. This back three for the Dolphins, they were so good in what was a losing effort. And these carries from their own end against the Rabbitohs 10 days ago now. Tabuai Fido ran for almost 180 metres, Asako for 160, Jennings for 132, almost 500 metres between them. That is rarefied air for the back three of any team.
It was good to see there with Jennings with the quick play the ball too. Fido just straight away on the quick play the ball, so they love getting their hands on the ball here.
And now a chance for Jennings. He tried to put a kick in stride, but coming across for Fafita makes another good tackle here. This one against the sideline as Jennings looking for a kick back infield. And that extra man is back through Sami, waiting for a chance at a kick. A catch there, but saw he never even got a foot on it. In Robert Jennings. Yeah. So good defence once again by Jojo.
Yeah, he showed good speed. He was caught in field, had to turn around and make the chase. It's a beautiful tackle there. As you said, Jennings trying to kick the ball back in field, but another turnover. A little bit of a sloppy start here from the Dolphins.
Kafusi and Fafita coming to grips there. A little smile from Fafita towards his opponent this afternoon. Fasua Malaawi picked up here. Strong work underneath from Marshall King with Bromwich over the top. Forward back on the inside for AJ Brimson. He's away. He's got Randall backing up in support. He goes for the hooker. He turns Tabuai Fido inside out. The old outside-inside play. The Titans open them up through Foran and Brimson, and then Chris Randall backing up. He gets the chance to score the first try of the afternoon for the Gold Coast.
And that's exactly why you bring him straight back into the side. It's a quality player, AJ Brimson. Randall backing up through the middle, just wrong-footed. Fido at the back of the field there. I'll tell you what, Kieran Foran copped a beautiful hit there from Kafusi. We talk about going to the line for your teammate. That was a beautiful pass back on the inside, but he got hammered. But look at the speed of this bloke. Got the ability to break tackles. He had any sort of number of players he could have chosen. Chooses Randall. He scores the try there for the Titans.
Well, as they did against the Broncos. Eventually was a loss to their big brother up the road. Jumping out of the gates here pretty quickly, the Titans against another Queensland rival in the Dolphins today. Randall, great work backing up through the middle there. They love that play, the Titans, especially with Foran and Brimson using his speed. Brimson's a strong body as well, had to break through a tackle, but the speed of him, he was one-on-one and he had options both inside and outside. And Randall, he had to veer left to put a step on the hammer to score try number one today for the Gold Coast. Here's Boyd. Bringing it back with a bit of draw. He splits the uprights. The Gold Coast in good shape. Corey Parker, they lead the Dolphins 8 points to 0.
Yeah, once again, the Titans have scored their first try. Again, 5 out of 6 games for the Titans in that regard. But some wonderful coaching there. Felice Kafusi obviously had eyes for Tanner Boyd. Just got himself wide enough with SASA, just clogging off at marker to play back inside to that man, AJ Brimson. We heard from the coach before the game what sort of play he means to this team. We just saw why there was capped off beautifully for the Titans.
Yes, it was. He brings a lot to the table. Of course, they have Jaden Campbell at some stage to come into the game to add what he does as well. Fodawaker brings it back. The Titans nicely on top at the moment, leading 8 points to 0. Play it here through David Fafita. They come back to the middle. And there is Kelly switching to the middle third of the field, looking for a carry.
We can see how Fafita's really improved. He just hang out on that left-hand side normally. This season, not the case. Second carry in that set, just getting himself involved.
Oh, there is Kafusi coming over to this left-hand side of the field. He was side by side there with Lemuelu. Has he gone to the middle in a switch here for the Dolphins? Take a look defensively in a moment. Well, Foran hit the deck here in a tackle, or contact at least, from Gilbert. And it looked like he had a problem because he bumped him without really wrapping his arms around him. Foran hit the deck. He's okay, but it will be a penalty here for the Titans again, right on top of the Dolphins line.
Tom, you got to make a tackle, mate. Okay?
He's the first Kafusi hit here. Tanner Boyd just looked up and thinks, oh no, I'm getting zeroed in on here. And there's Foran just been pushed after he kicks the ball. Would have been hit hundreds of times like that. Trying to protect the kickers as much as we can.
If they're in the air like that, you're going to grab them in a bear hug and make sure you just don't bump them. Have them fall on the ground to give the referee a chance to blow the whistle. Fasua Mala'awi, 10 away here from the Dolphins line. There's Liu stepping. Gilbert, he reached out as well, and they're on the board again. 2 quick tries to open up this contest for the Titans.
Gee, haven't they got some options in their footy side? It looked like Liu was going to go out the back there, but just gets one-on-one with Bromwich, I think it is. Just steps through, scores the try. Gilbert just had his eyes just looking on the outside there, gets stepped. They can't hang on. Haven't they started this game well? The Titans looks like they're going to go out the back, throws the dummy. And that is a great try to Liu.
Well, that Gilbert penalty proves to be a very costly one, doesn't it? He's always been such an impressive middle third player, whether it's the Roosters or now with the Gold Coast Titans, Isaac Liu. So dependable, you know what you're going to get from him. Does the hard stuff, a lot of the times unrecognised, of course, and all the stars in the back line, or some of the bigger name forwards that he plays alongside him, in the case of Tino Fasua Mala'awi and others. But every team needs an Isaac Liu.
Yeah, he's a working class player, isn't he? As the conversion goes over. What a great start from the Titans. They're doing things a little bit quicker. I know they've had a lot of ball, a lot of field position, but the speed is noticeable early in this game.
Yeah, 61% of possession over the game and 10 from 10 for the Titans. Justin Holt will be extremely happy. We saw this last week against the Brisbane Broncos. They were outstanding in the first half. They've started in very much the same fashion. As for the Dolphins, a couple of over-eager defenders, one being Felice Kafusi, missed the tackle on Tanner Boyd, and then Tom Gilbert, 2 of their real leaders just coming off and dropping off a few tackles.
See if they can keep their composure here. Down 14 early on against the Gold Coast. Scoring points hasn't been an issue for the Titans as Wada Wake Up brings it back out. They came into today ranked 7th in the league, scoring just on 23 points a game. Their problem has been defence. They're last defensively, the Titans. Through the first 7 weeks of the competition, they've leaked on average 27 points per game. But if the Dolphins keep giving them penalties like this, and then Brimson keeps doing that, he taps it, runs towards Tabuai Fido, and puts the Titans on the front foot here once again. From Foran, it goes to Fafita, skipping past Katoa, comes back to him. He'll throw himself on the ground there for fear of giving away a penalty for an obstruction play, it appeared, as Boyd finds Fasua Mala'awi. Line breaks 4-0 to the Gold Coast. It's 14-0 on the main scoreboard. Here's Boyd, comes across to Stimson. The tackle underneath there made by Nikorima. Big chance here to blow this game wide open. And here's Fasua Mala'awi through a huge hole. Katoa came up, opened the door for Tino, who strolled through it and never touched the doormat.
Well, you can put it down to the up-tempo game that they're trying to play here. The Titans, they've just come out here and started fast. This time it was all started by AJ Brimson. Took the quick tap from the penalty. Backs turned there from the Dolphins. Kavusi can't make the tackle. And then straight away, you can't believe his luck here. They couldn't come off their line there. Look how far Tanner Boyd had run. Liu gets the ball. Kavusi, wrong-footed. Fasua Malaawi with a little bit of footwork at the line. Gets another try.
Boyd, and then through the hands, Kafusi left posted, because on his right-hand side, you watch Isaiah Katoa here. He was at eyes on Kieran Foran, and Big Tino could scarcely believe his luck.
Well, the big thing is they couldn't retreat straight after the Brimson break, 50 metres upfield. They did it tough to get back. They haven't had any football so far. The poor old Dolphins defending this whole first half. The Titans make them pay.
A stunning opening to this game. Tanner Boyd. Quieting the Dolphins crowd here this afternoon, because the Gold Coast lead them 20 points to 0. And you don't see much animation usually from that man over the course of his decades in the coach's box, but that's an agitated Wayne Bennett.
Yeah, we're going to give some credit to Liu too. He scored a try a little bit earlier. This time passes, beautifully timed pass, although the defence wasn't back there. The Titans are on fire, 20-0.
Wayne Bennett builds his teams, ball security, good defence, playing for each other and trust in the team. Said it before, the 4 pillars of his philosophies, his game plan in rugby league. Boy, some of those are not being checked off by his team out here today. They've been ill-disciplined. The last 2 tries have come off the back of penalties, one from Gilbert, and then the quick tap by Brimson caught them out. With the Titans on the attack. It was only a matter of time. They were going to score again, the Gold Coast. Liu here, 20 points to 0. We've still got 17 minutes of action before half-time. If they're not careful, this could really get away from the Dolphins.
It's amazing what sort of confidence you get when you lead quite comfortably in a game. You just got to stick to their task now. The Gold Coast Titans, they're carving them up all over the field on both sides and through the middle.
Kick down to Tabuai Fido, makes the catch here. And for the first time in what seems a long time, they get their hands on the ball. Ewan Aitken hardly had a touch since the opening whistle. To Osaka, coming in for his regular carry. Play 2, play 3 specialist. The Gold Coast Titans have, before this possession here for the Dolphins, have had the last 6 sets of 6. They've scored 3 tries in that time. Now the Dolphins touching it. Gilbert back inside the 40. Marshall King comes back to Katoa, puts it in the air. Sami is back there, makes a regulation catch, runs towards Lemuelu. The Gold Coast go to work here again from inside their own 20. Fafita. Jojo, that is. Take around the left knee, which kept him out of action for the last 4 weeks for the Gold Coast. Some strong defence here from Kafusi and company. They need more of that. Pereira driven backwards. Mark Nichols is out there now. We saw Jesse Bromwich breathing hard back on the bench after a switch by Wayne Bennett. Now Kelly. Cut down here, 20 short of the halfway line. Best Dolphins defensive set at this end so far in the game. They need a response. Signs of one right there. Jennings to bring it back. Comes towards Stimson, and they bring him down about 15 short of the halfway line.
Very hard when you've been doing a lot of defence too to get back behind the ball. That was a good kick downfield by Tanner Boyd. Just struggling to get behind the ball here. And a lot of one-out running now. And that's been all the petrol used up here defensively from the Dolphins. You've got to find a spark somehow.
First man option there for Ray Stone. Also on deck now. At the back of Qatar as it comes to Gilbert. He'll shuffle his way inside the 20, and the Dolphins have one more play. To the left they go. Nicarima. Here's the target on the last play, it seems. Tabuai Fido runs into a dead end there. Fends away from Fafita. Nicarima grubbers. An awkward one to handle, although it took a friendly bounce for the Gold Coast, didn't it? Just bent towards the dead ball line pretty quickly there, and now they face 7 tackles.
Yeah, just a little bit too much on that one. I'm not so sure he wasn't aiming for the upright, but an easy walk for the Titans to the 20 and 7 tackles.
Yeah, Big Tino just taking a well-earned rest after a fantastic start, but both himself and Mo Fodawaker have really set a platform. And going on in his replacement is Thomas McHaley. Spent 66 games at the Tigers before going to Warrington and spending 7 games over there, in which he won all 7 at starting prop.
He gets a chance, as does Aaron Clark. One of the smaller forwards on the field any time he plays, but boy, he can get them going as Randall does here. He finds Tanner Boyd. Try number 4 for the Gold Coast. It is one-way traffic in this M1 battle between the Gold Coast and the Dolphins. They meet here at Suncorp Stadium, and the sun is shining on the Gold Coast today.
Well, they're in lead boots through the middle, aren't they? They're getting carved up straight through. Just have a look how slow they are off the line. Randall goes straight through. Beautiful pass. Any number of players backing up there. Tanner Boyd gets the try. AJ Brimson was there. Just too fast out of dummy half for them. A lot of players caught flat-footed. Randall took advantage of that straight through. Marker's not back on side. Slow off the line there. Randall summed it up pretty quickly. Tanner Boyd with good support under the posts.
Oh, he's having himself quite a game. It's Chris Randall scores a try, their opening try of the game, backing up Kieran Foran off the bust. AJ Brimson. Isaac Liu scored in their next possession. Tino Fasuamalaau scored their possession after that, and we've had just barely a couple of Dolphins touches of the ball, while the Titans have piled on 4 tries in this period during the first half. From right in front, Tanner Boyd. Yes, that scoreline is correct, and you saw Justin Holbrook there scarcely, as he looked towards the board, believing himself that yes, it's 26 points to 0.
Well, the great thing about it is that it's not, well, their best players or what everyone calls their best players. It's been Chris Randall out of dummy half, Tanner Boyd, those sort of guys taking the pressure off the so-called superstars in this Titans side. It's been a great team effort so far. Look at that scoreboard ticking over.
Well, the Dolphins have been so impressive in the first couple of months of this season. Here is McCarthy, who will bring it back and play it just outside the Titans' 10. Perhaps, just perhaps, the Dolphins, the effort of being a new club, getting themselves up as they had done through the first 7 rounds. Some injuries, of course, here today. Kenny Bromwich suspended as well. They're still missing Sean O'Sullivan, who will be out of action for another couple of months with that pectoral muscle issue that he suffered a few weeks back. Tessie News out of action. Anthony Milford has a hamstring. He might be back the next week or 2, but they're down on some playmakers and certainly some point creators. Here they are down 26 today. It's a long, long way back now.
Yeah, and Jared Wallace just about to come on for the Dolphins against his old club. Let's see if he can perform with those offloading skills that we've got. But they've got to get in a good field position. They've been playing off their own line this whole half.
So Aiken, he brings it forward. Dolphins have completed 6 sets from 8. The Titans are 15 from 15. They have been rugby league perfection in this first half.
That's been some sort of performance, hasn't it? 15 from 15. And it's not like they've just gone through the motions. They've played some footy.
Here's Nicarima trying to do that with Tabuai Fido. He makes a break, but you heard the urgent call, almost a scream from the sideline official. With the ball back on the inside from Nicarima to the hammer it was forward.
I reckon it was a lot of the Titans players too yelling out forward. I think they've got it right.
Boy, it's a tight one, isn't it? It's one of those almost optical illusions potentially, as the man who supplies the ball hits the defence and stops almost on the spot, creating the impression there that as Tapuai-Fidow takes possession of the ball, that the pass was forward. Watch this situation here with Gilbert involved. The tackle there on David Fifita. Brinko Lee lending his significant frame there to the impact as well.
Just doesn't look like it's their afternoon, the Dolphins. They need a little bit of luck. A little bit of split on the head there for Fifita.
The corner of the brow around the nose there for the big back rower. He's okay. Foreign now, almost away again. Kaufusi under huge pressure there. The man who is really under pressure is the young halfback in Isaiah Katoa. On the right edge of Kaufusi, the man who just made that tackle for Lise Kaufusi. Devil's own job at the moment with players coming at him. Fotuaika. 25 metres out. In for a fifth try here. Clark at the line. Boyd bypasses Foreign. Kelly has to wait. Don't get away from Brinko Lee. They take it inside the red zone. They've got 2 plays left in this set. Here's McCulley, who tries to fend away there from Raystone. Did so very effectively. Boyd on a switch to the right-hand side. Comes back to AJ Brimson. He finds McCulley back in the middle of the field. Kaufusi there under pressure again. So was Katoa. Nichols helping out. Randall to the short side. Foreign out the back. Good hands from David Fifita. Then Khan Pereira flying through the air. There's a bit to check though. The referee points to the spot. He thinks the Titans have got their 5th. I just want to check and clear any obstruction and also the put down from the flying Loffy, Khan Pereira.
Yeah, you can't teach this sort of skill here from Fifita. Look at that for an offload. Pereira scores the try. A little bit of a mix-up in field here. Know whether it really challenged for Brinko Lee to make that tackle, but they're going to have a look at it, I'm sure. They've awarded the try, but Fifita, I wish they would award that. They're going to have a look at it.
Paddy,
that was special.
just review a possible obstruction, Brinko Lee, please.
Watch it unfold once again with Kelly in front of David Fifita. Kelly goes to the...
Brian Kelly runs to the outside shoulder of Brinko Lee.
Exactly.
This prevents him from going forward and making contact on David
I'll pull
Fifita.
this one back.
We have an obstruction and a decision.
Pretty simple one, that one, with Kelly putting himself in front of the ball carrier and then contacting Brinko Lee. Certainly denied him his place in the defensive line, and things probably would have turned out differently for the Dolphins, so they finally get a bit of a break. And the timing on the play not quite right on that left edge for the Gold Coast. Just had to get through the line there and not impede Brinko Lee. Brinko Lee is 2 metres forward there. He makes a play on Fifita and shuts down the pass.
Yeah, 100%. But what about the ability of Fifita? I'd rather talk about that. I know that it's been pulled back, that try, but that's a special player that can do that.
Yeah, mate, his most consistent season for mine, Blocker, the fact that Dave Fifita is able to get so involved in all parts of the game, in all areas of the field this season, is a real credit to him and obviously the coaching staff. But don't underestimate the influence that Kieran Foran is able to have on Dave Fifita's game.
It has been a real boon, quite obviously, having Foran inside him as Nikorima, the left edge playmaker for the Dolphins. Links up with Lemuelu there. He wraps to the middle of the field for Katoa. Chance here for Brinko Lee to put some pressure on Brian Kelly and also Foran. And they've got it just outside the 20. And so few chances at this end of the field as Katoa puts it in the air. The hammer is there, so is Brimson. It falls for Nikorima. He goes to Jennings, and this will be the Dolphins' first points of the afternoon.
It just goes to show if you compete for the ball with the good chases, you get the opportunity to score. He was attacking the ball there, AJ Brimson. Plenty of players in and around the football. Bounces off his chest. Look where Brimson comes from. He's had to cover the ground. You can hear, or you can see him calling out for the ball. They won't get an easier one than that. Just landed straight in Nikorima's arms. Jennings scores.
Almost a mix-up there with the Fafita coming in as well, spoiling AJ Brimson. There was no touch, no knock forward into a Titan there by the Dolphins, with Tabuai-Fidow testing the ball. Never got a touch on it. Great heads-up play from Cody Nikorima. Swing it left. Watch it again from this angle. He saw Fafita there coming in. It was a well-placed kick on the other side of the field by Isaiah Katoa. And they had to find something before half-time just to lift the mood, raise the morale back in the sheds at the break. You just never know. The Titans, as we've seen recently, most recently, last week against the Broncos, ended up scoring 43 points after the Titans jumped out of the blocks as they've done here. They can lead points, the Gold Coast. The 17th ranked defensive team in the Premiership. So this one, while ever there's still as much time remaining, 45 minutes plus here, it's a long way from over, Corey.
Yeah, it certainly is. It was critical that the Dolphins were able to get on the board at any stage in this first half. They've only completed 8 of 11 as opposed to 16 from 18. They've had half amount of ball as have the Dolphins. So you would think at some stage this tide will turn. It's a matter of how fast it turns and what they can do when they get it.
Well, outstanding for 40 minutes against the Rabbitohs, the Dolphins. Barely made a mistake in the opening half of that game. So if they can complete some sets, put some pressure on the Titans, well, we know what can happen. Some restarts, of course, in the modern game, into swings of possession. And points usually follow. Marshall King, that ball there for Kaufusi. They just can't afford any simple mistakes like that. They need to be pretty perfect from this point on. No cheap turnovers of possession, and certainly no more of those easy penalties they've given the Titans to this point.
Yeah, you can see the spring in the step too. Straight after points, their first points of the first half, the Dolphins. Marshall King starting to make some inroads. I was watching for him. Great runner from dummy half. Hasn't had real opportunities here in the first half.
Katoa will come back once again to this left edge and put the Fafita under pressure once more, but Jojo, a good grab there this time. Brings it down comfortably and plays it just outside the Titans' 10. He figured Katoa, we've had some success, might as well go back there again and see if we can get another mistake from inside the 20.
Ray Stone's come on the field too for the Dolphins, expecting some big hits from him. He can loosen up the ball around the running players here. Let's see what he can come up with.
Clark plays it. Some tape around the head there for David Fafita. Coming in for a carry though, that's encouraging. Last play for Boyd, kick from his own side of halfway. Pick out Asako on the full. That'll help the Dolphins here. Asako stepping back on the inside. Good tackle. Certainly he was held there, you'd have thought. And his progress had been halted. They begin at their own 40 with Brenko Lee taking it forward one more before half-time, and it's very much game on.
It was a nice run there too from Brenko Lee. Wallace will be trying to get an offload here. We know how good he is at that. There it is.
Good one for Ray Stone to take it down just outside the 20. The tide is turning here suddenly. Marshall King, Nikorima. We've got an extra man on this left-hand side. Didn't find Lemuelu quickly enough, and in the end the Titans were able to recover. 4 tackles gone. Ewan Aitken comes to Tabuai-Fidow. Nikorima, heel floats. Marshall King is in the middle of the back line. Katoa is there. Brenko Lee. A chance here for Asako. Fires it back on the inside. Brenko Lee. They're going to say, though, that Asako was taken into touch while he still had contact with the ball.
They're looking pretty slick when they get down here. As we said, the biggest battle for the Dolphins in this game has been getting into a good attacking zone.
Don't know about that.
His foot was up, wasn't it?
We should have had another set of 6 coming up here for the Dolphins. As we just saw, he gets rid of that ball before his right foot touches the turf outside the line.
Yeah, I'm with you, Warren. A little bit unfortunate. Nothing's really gone their way. They needed it. Would have been game on if they got a try there.
A piece of luck for the Gold Coast. 2 minutes left before half-time. Nathan Astor and the boys back in the studio to take you through this first half and continue the build-up. Game number 2 on this Sunday ticket right here on Fox League. The Tigers at Campbelltown for the first time in 2023, taking on the Manly Seagulls. Tigers have had the rest coming off the bye. We'll see what they can offer against Manly, who've mixed their form in recent times. They're coming off a good win in their last outing. The Titans back at the halfway line. Boyd with Wallace putting some pressure on him. Took him to ground, but he made a regulation tackle in doing so. So that will be okay. Jennings looked over his shoulder. That fooled nobody, and Clark is there along with Cruz Leeming, the Englishman involved in that tackle. The Dolphins inside their own 20. Just over 60 seconds remaining. Just watching, see the difference there between what Wallace did and Gilbert did earlier on. He had those arms wrapping around Tanner Boyd as he took him to the turf, and hence there was no penalty.
Yeah, I just thought he landed a little bit awkwardly there, Tanner Boyd. Good pressure there from Wallace. Possession starting to turn around now.
And a quick tap by Marshall King, who was trying to milk a professional foul there from Leeming. It's play on. Chris Butler had a good look at it. The referee said he tried to milk that. It's play on instead. Nicarima from dummy half. Ray Stone. He knew exactly what he was doing, Jeremy Marshall King. Couple of plays remaining before the break for the Dolphins. Wallace at the line. First man option there for Nichols. Oh, the pass has been ruled forward.
That was a mile forward.
Their timing has been out this afternoon. As a consequence, they're only going to complete 10 sets in this first half. There's Marshall King. You see Leeming throwing out the arm. Tell you what, you could make a case there that that could have been a professional foul, which would have given, of course, the Dolphins a one-man advantage for the opening 10 minutes of this second half today. At the break here at Suncorp, the Gold Coast on top. They lead by 20. It's 26 points to 6. The Dolphins return here. A lot of work in front of them. But we know they're capable, given what they've shown through the first 7 rounds of the Premiership. They have Felice Kafusi returning from a 4-week suspension. Similar scenario, though different reason. The Gold Coast, AJ Brimson. He's been under pressure on that right-hand side with Isaiah Katoa, the young halfback, defending outside him. They've had a few issues combining on that right edge.
Well, the first thing really they've got to do in the second half, the Dolphins, is to tighten up their middle. Brimson, Boyd, Randall, those sort of guys, just carving them up at the moment.
So we're back underway. Tanner Boyd's applying the kickoff. It's Nichols who will bring it out here for the Dolphins. And they'll drive him sideways. He'll play it eventually 15 out from his own line. Unlucky just before the break, perhaps, the Dolphins, not to be playing against 10 men here for the first, or 12 men rather, for the first 10 minutes of this second half, when Jeremy Marshall King was knocked down. It had to be a professional foul. Cruz Leeming stayed on the field. And it's 13 on 13 as played there through Lemuelu. Ray Stone now brings it back to almost the halfway line. Good meters here for the Dolphins. Last couple of plays, Marshall King. Here comes to Felice Kafusi. Last play is Katoa, who puts it in the air, supplied the kick. Their lone try in the first half when the ball was put down by Jojo Fafita and this man, AJ Brimson. It allowed Jennings to score with a quick pass from Nicarima. And now the Titans, who were dynamic with the ball. They completed their first 15 of 15 sets, finished at 18 from 20 at half-time, and they were just about perfect in that opening half.
Well, the biggest thing for the Dolphins is to come out here and start again. If they're worried about the scoreboard, you can't look up there and see you're behind by 20 points. You've got to come out and start again, go through the process. I think possession will start to turn around for them.
Clark standing in the tackle. Attracted plenty of Dolphins as well, so the Titans had a chance on that right-hand side, although Boyd comes back to the middle where Brimson is stopped just short of the halfway line. Boyd, he puts it in the air, floating back there in that pocket of sun in the northeastern corner of Suncorp Stadium. Jennings making the catch, and he brings it back. Both teams getting through their opening set in this second half. Ewan Aitken stopped pretty quickly here by Aaron Clark. Here's Asako. Comes away to Couture. Good tackle though by Kelly. Asako again. Getting through a lot of metres as he's done all season for the Dolphins. Couple of quick carries right here. Already in this second half. Nichols now. Clark under pressure there, and as a result, some help from Fodawaker, but good run from Nichols puts Katoa in the position to put up an attacking kick. Will go down towards Philip Sami. We'll play it just outside the 20, and we go downstairs to Corey Parker.
Yeah, some of the word coming out of the sheds at half-time, Wayne Bennett was just sort of really, I guess, focusing on the point that he wanted his team to stay in it. And now what you ask what that means. I asked Anthony Milford what was he talking. Garrett Wallace comes up with a big hit there, trying to inspire his troops. Wanted his team to stay in it in all areas of the game, particularly the effort areas, as now the Titans come out this left-hand side. Justin Holbrook, on the other hand, just really intimated that he wanted his team to continue to play football as we're seeing.
Certainly not haven't gone conservative by any stretch, have they? Throwing it around, pushing it out to the edges there, and they have one more play now as Boyd will put the ball in the air. A penalty in the first half, and it was taken down illegally according to the referee by Tom Gilbert. I'm sure the Dolphins fans probably had a thought about that. Now Tabuai Fido playing it for Asako. Stimson take the carry, and it was Ray Stone with the impact. No surprise that Ray Stone was there, handing out the hits, yet again blocking.
Yeah, generally you don't have to look at who it is when you're having a look at the Dolphins and their front on hitters. Stone is so good at it. Possession's starting to turn around a little bit. They have a good fair bit of the ball early in this game. In the second half now, Marshall King starting to make movements out of dummy half.
Well, they had only 42% of the ball in the first half, the Dolphins. Got about 50 in the second half. You just never know. They trail by 20 as the kick goes down to Brimson. No chases there. Well in front of the kicker. As the fullback for the Gold Coast brings it back to play it at his own 30-metre line. Kelly here. He runs towards Marshall King. See who blinks first. The first mistake in this second half could be telling, looking at who wins this game. The Dolphins can force one from the Gold Coast. Grab a point or two off the back of it, then get themselves into the game. Brimson, or Stimson rather, playing it here. 4-foot Waker to take it forward. They're at the halfway line, midway through this set. He's leaning out of dummy half. Boyd, foreign, long ball over the top. Khan Pereira under pressure. He did well, the youngster. And the pressure there from Asako to stay in the field of play. Boyd, though, from the sideline, had Kafusi coming out at him. Luckily, Felice dropped off on the effort. Kick goes down to Tabuai Fido. That's Jennings to bring it back here and play it just outside the 10.
Well, that's a big thing for the Titans here to start the second half. They just can't go through the motions. We'll see how ruthless they are. They've leaked a lot of second half points this season, so it's a big competition for them to see if they can get right back in and really dominate the second half.
Now Felice Kafusi off the back of the hammer. Lee giving it to Asako, who almost slipped and put a foot into touch as a consequence. I'm not sure how this field is going to handle 8 games over the Magic round. That'll be interesting. Here's Nikorima. He comes out to Aitken. A chance here for the Dolphins. Aitken couldn't draw and pass. It's never been his strong suit. He gave it eventually to Jennings, but after the fact, Nikorima for Katoa. He will kick into the open spaces. The chase is a good one. Khan Pereira, no option. They get a goal line drop out, the Dolphins.
Yeah, they've started the second half well. Toa is with a little grubber kick in and behind, perfectly weighted. You've got to take your hat off too to the chasers. They're under the pump early in that second half here. Aiken with a good run here. Finally gets the ball on the outside. Should have really been able to draw the winger. Eventually gets the ball away. They forced a little line drop out, the first one of the second half for the Titans.
Titans like to go short, and it's not going to go to 10. Too short was the drop out this time from the Gold Coast.
I reckon that was the best set there from the Dolphins of the whole game. They marched upfield, got the repeat set. And now they'll be full of confidence right in the middle of the park. Let's see what they can come away with here.
Lead by 20. Take a shot coming up with a short goal line dropout. As you know, the opposition aren't going for 2 points at this stage. Nichols playing it. Wallace, Kafusi here. Up against Fafita and also Foran. Marshall King finds Wallace. There is Nichols.
Great ball.
Terrific short ball. Mark Nichols scores a try. And here come the Dolphins. Still a long way to go in this game. 32 minutes remaining. But it is the Titans who blink first. And the Dolphins get points off the back of it.
Well, they've cost themselves here, the Gold Coast Titans, with the short kickoff, the line drop out. They get the ball back, the Dolphins. Look at this, front rower to front rower. Caught flat-footed, beautiful pass, soft hands there from Wallace. I mentioned his offloading skills a little bit earlier. This time it's soft hands on the Nichols. He won't get an easier one than that. That's bad signs there for the Titans. The first time they've really been put under pressure in this second half, and they've wilted.
His ninth try in 136 games now in the NRL. With a kick to come, they'll be back in a moment. Just 14 points down. Look at their mood compared to where they were as the Titans were piling on all those tries through the middle period of the first half. They scored 3 in a row without the Dolphins touching the ball. Asako from adjacent to the uprights adds 2 more. And Wayne Bennett, who was moving noticeably in his seat in the first half, whatever he said at the break, it's worked in the early minutes of this second half. Corey Parker.
Yeah, real confidence booster there for the Dolphins to come out in the second half and put a couple of back-to-back sets in their own 20 and come up with points. Beautiful play there to Mark Nichols, who's been one of their most consistent performers. He come from South Sydney as an experienced player and has certainly done a job for Wayne Bennett. Averages up over 100 run metres every week off the bench for Wayne Bennett.
They've given themselves a chance. Half an hour plus remaining here in Brisbane this afternoon. First of 2 games on Fox League's Sunday ticket. And here is the try scorer. Nichols bringing it back. Wallace looking for another offload. And there it is. It goes to Stone from Nikorima. Lemuelu now. The Dolphins, they're swimming downstream suddenly. Fins up here at Suncorp. This crowd is animated. Stone goes inside the 40. Set restart. What a change in this game. Nichols working with Wallace. Damaging combination they're proving to be today. Marshall King heads up from dummy half. Comes down his right edge. Tabuai Fido. Lee comes away from the sideline. Offloads back to the hammer. Katoa. He had Wallace there. He would have been a handful to stop. The young halfback takes it inside the 10. Marshall King. He goes to Nikorima. Stone back on the inside. Nikorima has a dip himself. Fafita was there. 2 plays left. Here's Wallace from close range. Oh, did he hang on to it? He put it down. Chris Butler says yes.
Yeah, he sure has. Hasn't he got himself involved in this game? Wallace set up a try. Now he scores one himself. Close to the line. Looked like he was going to drop the ball for all money. Rolls up the forearm. Keeps it in the grip. Slams the ball down. Just poor defence too. Legs tacklers on the line. Not a great fan of that. Anyway, Wallace gets one back again. And they've gone to sleep. Look at that for ball control. Well done from Wallace.
I don't know how he hangs on to this. Watch this. He's got it. Poise. He's going to drop it. He's going to drop it. No. Brings it down. Whatever he's got on those hands, those big plates of meat that he's got hanging onto the ball. It's strong stuff. Tarzan's grip for Jared Wallace to plant it down. In a moment, this will be 26-18. And as we said, despite the scoreline in the first half, it was getting embarrassing for the Dolphins at 26 points to nil. Yes, Jared, it is fins up. The Dolphins are playing against the worst defensive team in the competition.
I'll tell you what, a noticeable difference of the Dolphins in the second half, the way they've all pushed around the ball. It was a lot of one-out stuff in the first half. It's a completely different team now.
In the main difference in this second half, apart from some wonderful individual performances to start the second half, that by Jared Wallace, is the fact that they've got a real good share of the ball. 7 from 7 to start this second half, as opposed to 3 from 3 for the Titans. And a real concern now for the Titans, who over recent weeks, as you guys have already highlighted, are the worst defensive team in the competition. So the Fins are up here.
They are. 4 straight sets of 6. Fins up, baby. 2 tries off the back of it, and that fella, Jared Wallace, one-time Mungie Dragon, is out here supplying tries, scoring tries. Nichols his bookend in the front row at the moment, on field, dragged this team back into the game. 8 the difference after it was 26-0 at one stage. It is remarkable. Now Lemuelu. The offloads, they are really hurting the Titans here. Number of them in the build-up to that try scored a moment ago by Wallace. 3 plays gone. Set restart certainly didn't help. It was all the Titans as far as the offloads in the first half. But now it's the Dolphins returning serve. Marshall King for Nichols. Takes it inside the 40. Chance for an attacking kick here at this back end of this set. Look at the meters they've made off the restart here. Katoa puts it in the air, coming forward. Isako was there looking for a shot on Khan Pereira. And they make the tackle just inside the 10. And the Titans, well, they'll be shell-shocked. Let's see what they've got here as Kelly's driven backwards. Look at the energy in defence the Dolphins have now.
Yeah, it's amazing, not only in defence, but in attack too. The Dolphins just, with the offloads and the enthusiasm with their running, it wasn't there in the first half. They looked very flat. As we said, the possession's starting to turn around now. They'll be real confident.
There's Boyd. Back end of this set. Put it in the air for the Titans. Goes down to Tabuai Fido. Next to his right-hand side. Nobody there for a carry, so the fullback brings it back himself. With his shot for scoring tries. You're backing him in between now and full time to grab one. If he does, he'll be right there with the Gold Coast. Jennings, he brings it back. Stimson and also Boyd. They've got plenty of carry now, haven't they? Winning these collisions. Back across the halfway line once again. With 2 plays remaining in this set. Marshall King for Katoa. He had the hammer back on the inside. Good work by Aaron Clark to close the door, though. So Katoa hangs on to it. Goes out the back to Nikorima. He puts up a bomb. With Jojo Fafita under pressure. He didn't want to get to it. Now he gets a friendly bounce. And nobody really knew where the ball was there. It ended up in Jojo's hands, and the Titans have it at their own 20.
There's been a little bit of indecision at the back here for the Titans. One in the first half, and then allowing the ball to bounce. Someone's got to have the confidence enough to say, that's mine.
They suddenly look like a Wayne Bennett coach team now, don't they, the Dolphins? The energy they have. The hits they're making in defence. As Leamy jumps out of dummy half. He saw Nichols wasn't quite back to 10. He does well there.
Well, he'll set them on the right track. Fasua Malaawi coming back on for the last 5 minutes. He's a man that runs with plenty of gusto, so he might be the man to get him back on track here.
As Jennings brings it back beyond the 20. And then a couple of good sets, don't they, the Titans? Jesse Bromwich is back here for the Dolphins. Brenko Lee, the catch and step back on the inside there of Brian Kelly. Kieran Foran, strong defensively, but dragged a long way by Brenko. Kafusi here, runs it towards Leeming, almost back at the halfway line. Quick play the ball as well. Look at Wallace chime in. Nicarima goes to Aitken. How good does he look running in the back line? Jared Wallace.
Well, the good thing is when he gets in open space, he knows exactly what to do. Got wonderful skill.
A kick towards Brimson. Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow. It gives it to Jennings. What's happened? What happened to Jennings? That was the changeover.
Well, why didn't he get up and keep going there?
I've never seen the like of it. What about the work of the hammer to go up above AJ Brimson? Stone was there, but it went to Jennings. He stumbled and then didn't get up to continue running.
Oh.
Robert. Nicarima can't believe it. That was the changeover. I can't imagine what he was thinking, Blocker.
I think he thought he was tackled. I think he thought someone was around his legs. There was no one there.
Oh, the air has gone out of the balloon here in the stadium. Everyone was on their feet down here at ground level, boys. And what has happened to Jennings? He wasn't thinking at all. As now Foran goes for a heads-up play.
A kick early in the tackle count goes into touch.
So you got to make sure those sort of things come off. Get the ball back. The Dolphins on a roll, 30 metres out.
Let's come back to Robert Jennings once again, because this will be the most talked about play over the course of the weekend, no matter what happens between now and Anzac Day. He can't believe it. Nicarima's blowing up, all his teammates blowing up. Can't imagine what was going through his mind just then, but they do get a chance at a do-over. Perhaps a sign of panic from Kieran Foran, no less, with that kick from inside their own 20 as the hammer takes it inside the 10. Here's Jennings at dummy half. That was a long ball to Nicarima. Wallace is there. At the back, he comes back to Lemuelu. Good defence there by Philip Sami, who saw it coming and was able to wrap up the receiver. It's Wallace. Standing and offloading once again. He put Marshall King under pressure there. Need to be careful here not to get offload happy and produce a simple turnover, the Dolphins. It's Wallace for Katoa. Nicarima, quick hands. Goes to ground. Asako pressured there by Khan Pereira. Did well to beat him, and Kelly still going. Fires it to Lee. He comes back to the middle. Nicarima. Tabuai-Fidow is there. He gives it to Jesse Bromwich. He wanted the old run around. Here's Bromwich running towards Boyd. The hammer's everywhere suddenly. It comes back to Katoa. He puts a kick in. They had one more up their sleeve. Batted backwards by Asako. Leeming is there, though, and has it for the Gold Coast.
I think you'll find they might have not gone here.
Well, this is interesting. It looked like a clean punch back by Asako. And there's no challenge here from the Titans. Surely that's all Jermaine Asako there. Does he touch the ball here, Kelly? Didn't look like it.
Gee, I'm with you. It's a tough call.
Watch it again from this particular angle. Given what happened in the first half, they are due a bit of luck, though, the Dolphins. Perhaps the rub of the green just evening up right there. They had that tough call when Asako passed the ball back in from outside the sideline, ruled to be into touch. We saw that he wasn't. Katoa, here's Nicarima. The hammer, he gives it to Jennings for the corner. He gets it down this time.
He ends up well in the end goal.
Redemption for Robert Jennings.
Yeah, momentum's taking him over. I think the Titans are blowing up and thinking it's a double movement. It's not. He didn't advance his arm. And Jennings this time, momentum's taking him in the in-goal area. Gee, you shouldn't be able to score off a scrum base like that. Zero tackle. Jennings did well. Momentum's taking him in the in-goal area. That's a try.
Still moving there, ends up with his body in the in-goal area beyond the try line. Despite the ball touching down before the line, look how much of his body ends up in the in-goal. That's the important part in that situation.
Gee, it's some sort of comeback here from the Dolphins. Had a heap of ball here in the second half and been good enough to score.
Some sort of comeback from that man on screen. They are going to check this, it looks like. Chris Butler waiting for confirmation from the bunker.
On screen.
Yes, you are, Chris.
Matty, looking for a possible knock-on.
So, not a double movement. There was a suggestion the ball was moving slightly.
The ball is lost
in
as
his
he
hand.
comes in the
just
goal,
there.
and it's a knock-on by the Dolphins.
goodness.
Lost it.
We have a decision.
He is fresh out of luck, is Robert Jennings.
He's going to do it tough going to sleep tonight. Didn't even see that little bobble, but they got it right.
Even Wayne Bennett knows what that might mean. He's doing it tough, isn't he, at the moment up in the coach's box. He senses there's a real comeback on the cards here, and there was just a little bobble short of the line. What a great grab by Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow. Nobody touching him. It took Tanner Boyd half an hour to get there. Jennings just laid on the ground and didn't score. We have never seen the likes of it, Corey.
It's been a bizarre 5 or 10 minutes here in this game. Robert Jennings not just able to get across the line. He's been charged with a grade 3 voluntary tackle there before coming up with an error for the Dolphins. But what a bizarre 10 minutes. I mean, Kieran Foran, they got the ball back, then he opted to go short on play 3 for the Titans. They were unable to pull that one off. This game has turned on its head. You talk about comebacks. Round 12, 1998 was the last time 26 points was run down. It was the Cowboys who beat the Panthers, so still a long way to go in this match.
I think Wayne Bennett will give him 2 weeks just for that.
Well, he could have had a hat-trick, Robert Jennings. Scored their first try of the game off the bomb that wasn't caught by the Titans. And then, well, he didn't score the try we know we've spoken about ad nauseum now. And then, of course, that one where he loses it just before the line. It could have been 3. It's only 1 for the winger for the Dolphins. Here's Brimson. The Titans. A chance there for Jojo Fafita to slip it out the back to Philip Sami on his outside. He hangs on to it as Sami wraps back towards the middle. And he's taken down here just outside the 30. Titans haven't had a chance at this end of the ground in this second half. Long kick here. Oh boy, Khan Pereira flying through the air, went over the shoulder there of Jermaine Asako. It was a courageous attempt to take from the rookie. Watch this again as he flies. He's quick. He's got some springs as well. Looked like he was in the forward square there, taking a mark at the MCG.
Yeah, we talk about sides that are trying to get themselves back into the game, need a special play. Well, luck has not gone the Titans' way here in the second half. I don't know how they're going to get out of it. They're on a roll, the Dolphins.
Nikorima against a retreating defensive line. Ewan Aitken handed off there in the attention of Jojo Fafita. From Bromwich to Gilbert. Here's Kafusi. Kelly slipped over. Kafusi, though, wrapped up by Kieran Foran. 4 tackles gone. There's Marshall King. And Tabuai-Fidow. Oh, knocked down by Khan Pereira. If he catches that, he'd have moonwalked his way to score.
Yeah, he would have too. He would have been off and running. He just slapped at the ball there. Instead of really going for the intercept, just slaps it down. Oh, just a little bit unfortunate. Got on the outside there. Young Campbell sitting on the sideline. Will he get a run? They need something. They need some spark.
That's the question at the moment.
Let's
Throw
go.
him out there. You decrease the size of your defensive line quite obviously if Brimson stays on the field, and he will stay on the field. So it's quite likely they try and just hold off the Dolphins here at the moment. Jaden Campbell might be a spectator here for the 80 minutes this afternoon. Marshall King for Katoa. Nikorima comes to Ewan Aitken. Juggles, the ball came off his chest, but he takes it inside the 20. It's Gilbert. Sent restart here for the Dolphins. Still 17 plus minutes remaining in this game. Marshall King for Wallace. Katoa showing it. Not getting past David Fafita there. Good strong tackle from the left edge, back rower. Marshall King, short ball, Jesse Bromwich. Held up by 3. Coming down inches short of the try line. Here's Gilbert. He takes a dip now. Leeming was there, so was Aaron Clark. Fasua Mala'awi helping drag him down. First receiver from Katoa, Nikarima. Big head fake. Fifita once again, not taking any dummies. Making his tackles on this left-hand side. Katoa will Grubber in behind them. The hammer is coming quickly. So was Brimson, who beats him to the ball.
He got on his bike there. That's good play there from the young half. Putting the pressure on. Katoa it was with a little grubber kick. Already 5 try assists this season. Perfectly weighted. Gee, they had to get back there and get on their bike because the hammer was there right on the spot.
It's a great kick. And that teenager, still 19 years of age, is Isaiah Katoa.
We'll go for the short one again here. Not likely.
Tanner Boyd this time with the dropout. He does go long. Bounces down to Herman Sasa, who will bring it back. He runs at Liu. And they'll begin here just outside the 30. At 8 points, had they gone short and not gone the 10, the Dolphins could have well taken 2 points from right in front. I think that was the change in thinking there for the Titans. Here's Bromwich. He goes back inside the red zone. It's the team in red who own the ball at the moment. Katoa for Nikarima. Foran came out quickly, took a chance, did well. Katoa here, showing it to Bromwich. He stepped past Stimson. It's to the outside of Boyd. Aiken! Jennings this time! Surely! He got there! Robert Jennings plants it down and the relief is visible.
Yeah, he's revived himself there by scoring that try. Ewan Aiken, not known as we mentioned. Man that charges the ball well, but he got a beautiful offload here. You can just see him building. Katoa it was again with a little bit of footwork at the line. A couple of dummies back on the inside. Not really got the overlap going. And look at this for the money ball. Well done there from Jennings. We've been a little bit tough on him in the second half, but he redeems himself here.
Gee, that was good work. Isaiah Katoa able to beat both Stimson and Boyd to get to the outside, meaning that both Jojo Fifita and Philip Sami had to turn their attention to him. It opened up that little corridor down the sideline. And can you believe it? Ewan Aitken jumping into his arms there like they've won the grand final, given what's happened to Robert Jennings in the last 10 minutes of this game.
Well, I reckon they got a sense that they're right on a roll here. What a comeback. Just think back, it was 26-6 at half-time. The Dolphins with all the ball, all the field position, and they've been good enough to score. They're doing things a lot faster than the Titans at the moment. They're very sloppy around the middle, not getting off their line. Nowhere near the excitement we saw in the first half of the Titans, and they've gone to sleep.
Dolphins have had 16 sets and completed 15 in this second half. The Titans are just 7 from 7. Massive discrepancy. Isako, he converts from the sideline. They are doing everything at the moment. And it's a 2-point game here at Suncorp, Corey.
Yeah, scoreboard pressure and momentum certainly helps. So what about the play from this man here? 18 years young, in his first year with the NRL. Wayne Bennett took a bit of a gamble when they signed him, but they knew they were signing some talent, and he has certainly stood up there, stands up the Titans players with some wonderful fleeting footwork before laying on the ball to Ewan Aitken. He comes up with a try assist to Robert Jennings. Hasn't it been a 10 minutes for that man? But you talk about comebacks, as I mentioned earlier, 1998 was the last time a team come back from 26 points down.
Well, what a roller coaster it has been for Robert Jennings. Is it a lifetime gold pass at Luna Park, given the afternoon he's had here today? Just remarkable. He has 2 tries. Dolphins now have 4. They trail by just 2. SASA playing it. Jesse Bromwich skipping as he comes towards the halfway line to run to Leeming.
Well, I mentioned a little bit earlier, just a second ago, just to look at the amount of yards they're able to run right through the middle. It's been a poor performance here from the Titans, especially their middlemen, not getting off the line and putting pressure on.
Patel puts it in the air, goes out to that left-hand side. The kick will go down to Sami, who runs towards Nikorima, dragged down there by Lemuelu. Need to wrap him up because he's shown in his past 2 outings just how dangerous and how many metres he can bring it back for in situations like that against a broken Chase team. Fafita going sideways here, forced by Gilbert to the edge. The change in the Dolphins' defence from the first half to the second half is off the charts.
It's been unbelievable, hasn't it? Really, they've really stopped the offloads of the Titans too. Not running with support around the ball. Here they go wide. They had plenty of success early in the game by supporting each other. There's a lot of one-out stuff coming now.
Tackled by Lemuelu, now Foran with the clearing kick. Comes down to Tabuai Fido. Can the Titans give themselves a chance here to put some pressure with some possession at this end of the field? Because just haven't had a tackle at this point inside the 20, and they've only had 5 play the balls for the entire second half beyond the halfway line.
Yeah, we've got to really force an error with some rugged defence, but you can't just all of a sudden switch that on. They haven't come out in the second half. They're still in the dressing sheds.
Here is Kafusi running towards Fodawaker. Titans 26, the Dolphins 24. Oh, Essa somehow reels that one in. Marlon jumping out of the water. He still had it on the hook though. Katoa, oh, an absolute shank. It goes completely sideways. Brenko Lee, well, he backed away from it. I thought he must have been offside. Eventually he plays at it, and they do get a second kick in. So the drama averted as Brimson runs to Asako, and they take him down 25 short of the halfway line. What a finish we've got coming up here in the first of 2 games on the Sunday ticket.
Well, I was just watching Fasua Malaawi in the back plate. He looks like he's got a crook arm at the moment, just clutching at an arm. We'll see if he can finish the game here.
Tension there from the train, although he shrugs away from him. He's keen to push up in support. Here's a great run by Fodawaker. Gets a legs tackle from Lemuelu. A jump out from dummy half. Oh, and then Isaac Liu pushing up in support there of Cruz Leeming. They turn it over, and the Dolphins will begin here in great field position.
Well, Liu in the first half set up a try, scored one. With a sloppy play out of dummy half there. Those sort of passes stuck in the first half. It's not happening for the Titans. They can't get up the other end.
They can't. The numbers prove it. Still yet to have a play the ball inside the red zone in this second 40. We've had half an hour of action. And boy, there's been some. Not all of it, Robert Jennings. What a day he's had. There could be some sort of story if he scores the winner here for the Dolphins in the remaining 10 minutes. Wallace takes it to the line. What have they got here? What they do have is points in this second half. Hasn't been their strong suit. Yeah, they've piled on some since half-time. The hammer's been a big part of it. So is this kid. Katoa has been great. SA will play it. Marshall King only just getting there in time to dummy half. Gilbert. Out the back, Jesse Bromwich was very wide there. Tabuai Fido runs away from Fasua Malaawi. Here's Aitken. They'll take it to ground there in the tackle of Jojo Fafita. The last here. It's Nikorima who grubbers again. Couldn't get it past Brimson, who does well. Spins away from the contact, and watch him go. AJ Brimson for Carl Pereira. But Brimson takes a chance and gives it straight back to Jermaine Asako.
Yeah, I wonder why he didn't keep running then. Brimson, it was a great break. Tried to force the issue there.
Here's Lemuelu. They're at the 20. We'll come back to Brimson and his pass in a moment. Here is Aitken. Taking it to the Titans, inviting the Dolphins to grab this lead. SA spinning, looking, reaching, plants it out the back. Aitken thinks he might have scored.
Tackle for Matty. Over no try, I believe it's a knock-on from Herman.
Well, have a look at the seat where his hands are and the ball goes backwards. SA right at the line. No, he's dropped it cold.
The Gold Coast are just making a tackle and the ball is knocked on by Herman SA. We have a decision.
As close as that to taking the lead here after being down 26 points to nil.
Might have got a little bit too excited there. Would might have been better off taking the tackle. AJ Brimson with a great run upfield, but tried to force the error or force the issue here. It's a great break. They needed to get themselves right back in the game, and they had. It was an ordinary pass over the top.
He'd love that one back, wouldn't he? They saved his blushes, forcing the mistake from Herman SA, but he knew if he could get it to Khan Pereira, it was all over. And Jaden Campbell, talking of speed, is out there now for the final 8 minutes of the game.
I reckon it's a good move to bring Campbell on. They need something, some sort of spark. And leave Brimson on the field.
The question is, though, Jaden Campbell will have to defend more than likely. He won't be defending on the wings, and he won't be defending out the back. So we'll see if the Dolphins can get to him. He has experience defending in the front line, taking over from Kieran Foran with injuries already this season. In their game at Leichhardt against the Tigers. They'll play it here 15 short of the halfway line. Campbell is there at dummy half. That's where he's going to line up for the moment. It's for Fifita. The ball came free and it's been knocked on by the Titans' edge forward.
Yeah, he's trying to get his hands free here for Fifita. The ball knocked down. That's a knock on. In the act of trying to pass the ball's knocked down. Trying to get himself in the game. Franco Lee there with the arm on his forearm that just knocks the ball down, knocks his arm. Every time they start to build to something, it's error on error.
And Wayne Bennett's going to go with the man with the hot hand. Jared Wallace is about to come back onto the field along with Ray Stone after this scrum. As we see in the replay box there, the team. Travojevic coming up next on Fox League.
Yes, the Seagulls up against the Tigers out at Campbelltown in southwestern Sydney. For the moment, in Brisbane, the Dolphins coming to get the Titans. It's Ewan Aiken, another offload. The Redcliffe-based outfit at the edge of the red zone. It's Marshall King for Wallace. He's been great in 2 stints in this second half. He wants a set restart there for a touch by the Gold Coast. Doesn't get one. Tabuai Fido. He will play it here. Back to the middle they come. It's Gilbert. There is Jaden Campbell right in the middle of the defensive line, putting his body on the line. He has to make big tackles against big men. In this conclusion of the game, Katoa, no looker. Kafusi is there. Good tackle by Foran. Marshall King runs to dummy half. Last play, a kick, doesn't get through the line. Still the last. No restarting of the tackle count. Great work by Mo Fodawaker.
Well, I think they got a repeat set here. They're saying that he played at the ball here with his foot.
Oh, a late call there by the referee to rule 6 again. Did he play at that ball or not? Watch it again. Fodawaker did stick out that leg. It wasn't in the motion of making the tackle. Good call on field from Wallace. It comes to Nikorima. Here's Aiken! Aiken reaches out! The Dolphins from 26-0 down. They take the lead. What a comeback this is.
Yeah, and it's been the mistakes the last couple of minutes here from the Titans. Couldn't complete, couldn't get to their kick. And Aiken straight through. Nice straight running here from Aiken. We were used to it. Nikorima with a beautiful ball. Look at the strength there. He backed himself. And Aiken gets a try for this wonderful comeback here. Haven't they got some ticker, this team from the Dolphins? And that's a great try. They won't be denied now.
Just too strong through the tackle there of Tanner Boyd in particular. He backs himself in situations like that all the time. There's Ewan Aiken. We said earlier on, passing, drawing and passing, certainly never been his strong suit. but from close range, the man who spent plenty of time running holes and running lines for the Warriors, playing as a back rower before linking up with the Dolphins in 2023. He went back to a former role right there from across the ditch and scores from close range to make it 28-26. One of the biggest comebacks we've seen in the NRL era.
You've got to give credit to their senior players too for the Dolphins. You mentioned Wallace, how good he's been.
The kick from Asako will stay outside. Importantly, it's a 2-point game still. Just under 4 minutes remaining. Justin Holbrook watching on, can't believe his team has coughed up this lead from 26-0 down, or up rather. They're now 28-26 down. It's been all one-way traffic in the first half and then all one-way traffic the other way in the second half. Wayne Bennett, he's almost coming out of the coach's box there.
Well, it's hard to imagine after what they've tossed up in the second half here, the Titans, whether they can get down the other end to put some pressure on. They haven't been able to. The short kickoff here.
It's a good one as far as the distance is concerned. And the Titans can't come up with possession, though. The Dolphins have it through Tabuai Fido. There were bodies going everywhere. You were waiting for the referee to make a decision about the contact, but he was okay. There was nobody taken down illegally there. Watch it again. Khan Pereira was there. Kafusi moving towards the ball. That was okay. And it's play on here for the Dolphins. If they can score a converted try, they can just about put this one to bed. Incredibly. Haven't they got some ticker? And listen to the noise here at Suncorp Stadium. They were nowhere near being in the contest in that first 40. The kick here from Couture again. Khan Pereira coming forward. Remarkably, here we are with just under 3 minutes remaining, and the Titans for the entire second half have had just 5 play the balls beyond the halfway line.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what sort of tactics that they're going to come up with now. They've got a chance their hand. Can the Dolphins force an error here?
Sami tipping past Gilbert, fending away from Couture. Kafusi was there also, comes in, hits him again around the kidneys. Play on as he gets the ball away, but they need some momentum. Fodawaker knows only one direction. He plays it quickly as well. A jump here on Campbell, who is stopped for the minimal gain there by Gilbert. 4 plays gone for Suamala Aui. Can the Titans snatch it? Here's 4, back over the top. It's Sevens rugby stuff now. Brimson, a little kick taken by Ray Stone in the breadbasket.
Well, they haven't scored a point in the second half here, the Titans. They haven't looked like it. It's been all the Dolphins.
And they're down to maybe just one more possession, the Gold Coast. Well, the Dolphins, they can force a repeat set. They might take the ball all the way to the finish post. Marshall King for Stone. Campbell's there again. Looking for a one-on-one strip. Doesn't get one. Couture for Kafusi. The Dolphins. So to work it in here, if they turn it over, just make sure they don't take it dead and give the Titans 7 tackles. Couture, he won't kick it. Brenko Lee won't either. They're happy to run it into a corner and make the Titans work it away and go the length of the field in one set of 6.
Yeah, it's going to be almost impossible here. Their main players have got to get their hands on the ball, but how tough is it? A couple of tough runs here, 1 out run, that's not needed. The penalty given by Kafusi.
High contact there on Khan Pereira. And his game back. First one back from a 4-game suspension. Nothing more than a penalty, you'd imagine, right there for the Dolphins and for Lise Kafusi. So it's Fodawaker taken down heavily here. Meters on his own side of halfway. They've barely been in Dolphins territory. Now they will finish. They can get through this play. On the other side of halfway, needing a try to snatch it at the depth. 30 seconds remaining. Boyd goes past defenders. It comes to Fafita. Taken down there by Brenko Lee. Gilbert runs across. Took a chance of giving away a penalty. Foran, Fodawaker for Boyd. It goes to Liu. He's got Stimson on his outside. 15 seconds remaining. They're at the 30. Jaden Campbell spins it back to Tanner Boyd. Here is Foran, goes out the back. Fafita against Lee. They get numbers there. Gilbert over the top, takes him down. Can they play the ball in time? No, they don't. Game over. The Dolphins have produced a comeback for the ages. Brenko Lee moved to the point of tears. It is fins up in the River City.
Yeah, there was some sort of tackle to finish the game too by Gilbert. It looked like Fafita was going to get an offload there. He shut it down. What a game of footy in the second half from this Dolphin side. Never say die.
Absolutely remarkable scenes here at Suncorp Stadium. The Dolphins, who look like they might have finally hit the wall in this first season in the NRL during that first half. But Wayne Bennett, whatever he said at half-time, to be chiseled into a wall at Redcliffe HQ. A remarkable comeback.